a friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie Yo 647. In that neighborhood, my brothers and sisters. It is that time to get into another one of these true crime, horror, dark, deep, and mysterious, what the is going on type of videos. And today, we are going back to Mike from that chapter. It is always a delight when we get to go back to Mike. And the title of the video is The Twisted Case of Carly Gregg. Let's give it a go, Bean Team, and find out what's going on with Carly Gregg. But before we give it a go, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need, please. Another That Chapter Wednesday. Y'all got what y'all need. Y'all ready to go? Then let's go.
Hey you and welcome, my name is Mike, and in this old video, it was springtime in Mississippi, and well, something evil and twisted was about to happen. It wasn't planned, and it wasn't really gonna stop. It was, one of those, well, in for a penny. And the reasons given, thought to be why, well, there's been a few. Mental health issues, speculation online about something darker happening in the home, mouth fedoras, or vapes as they're also sometimes known as. But who really knows? Sure, at the end of the day, we weren't there. But, cameras were.
What is this?
Let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go. And get whatever you may need. And I'm just going to throw this out there from the beginning, Bean Team. And I know some of y'all thinking it too. Carly, long story short, story long, then killed somebody that live in that house with her. It may be everybody that live in the damn house. You know what I'm saying, man? Either her parents or maybe her brother or sister, uncle, auntie, whoever, grandma, granddaddy. I just feel bad already, man. I don't even like the little video clip that Mike just showed us right then. She done did something she ain't have no business doing. But let's give it a go.
This story takes us to Rankin County, Mississippi. To the east of Jackson lies the city of Brandon, Rankin County capital. It's home to about 25,000 people, and more or less it's a suburb of Jackson, the state capital. Overall, not really much to say about Brandon, other than it is where legendary quarterback Gardner Minshew of Minshew Mania fame, he grew up there, so Brandon, I salute you. People say it's nice, it's got stores, amenities, things to do, and if you're a parent, the schools are pretty good. One of those schools is Northwest Rankin High School, where a 14-year-old girl named Carly Gregg was getting her education on. Carly Gregg was born in 2009 in old Mississippi. Her parents, Ashley, she worked as a math teacher. Her pa, Kevin, he was kind of like sort of out of the picture by many accounts. See, there was a lot of custody dealings between her father, Kevin, and her mom, Ashley, and seemingly they were quite contentious. And I understand he had a bit of an issue with the old druggerinos, sure you know yourself. This was seemingly exacerbated after Carly's little sister Natalie was born. Unfortunately, and of course so tragically for Ashley and for Kevin, a little Natalie would pass away at only 1 year old from spinal muscular atrophy.
Damn.
From there, Ashley and Kevin's marriage deteriorated, and they would later divorce. As I said, Kevin would have his issues with drugs, allegedly, even doing them around Carly. That was, of course, though, till the marriage was out in its arse. It got the boot, though he would still, have visitation, and he would still see Carly Gregg somewhat regularly. Ashley, now mostly raising Carly by herself, though, it seemed like she really gave everything, to her daughter. She was like just an incredibly supportive, loving mother. And she herself would later remarry. This was when Carly was about 11, and the new stepdad in Carly's life was a fella by the name of Heath Smiley, a physical therapist, and he fit in like a hand in a glove. By all accounts, his and Carly's relationship was pretty good. Which is kind of surprising. Carly, she lost her sister when she was very young, then her parents divorced, her dad, his issues. Apparently once her dad forced her to drink an entire beer, like when she was 12 years old. He forced her to drink an entire, like that sort of thing. Sure, getting her started early, I guess. Heath, on the other hand, though, real family man, they would play video games together, they would play guitar box together. He adopted 2 golden retrievers for the family, one named Wyatt, one named Finn. Carly was like mad about the dogs. She had her guitar lessons, karate lessons, and when she was 11, she was chosen as September 2020's Character Trait Student of the Month, with that month's character trait being friendship. This was at Northwest Rankin Middle School, so I guess she was the friendly sort.
It just be so crazy how Mike start his stories off showing these people and everything be all good. You know what I'm saying, man? They seem like, now I'm not gonna say they live the best life, and rest in peace to Carly's little sister that died at the age of 1. I think it was a girl, may have been a boy, but y'all get what I'm saying, man. And that was a tragedy not only to Carly, but her mama, to her daddy. But come to find out, her daddy is a little on the crazy side too, making Carly drink a whole beer at the age of 12. Like for what? He probably was a little on the crazy side, but still, long story short, story long, Carly came up at least with her mama being a great parent in a good household. She got a new stepdaddy seemed awesome. Like everything all good so far, but we gonna get to the craziness.
That'll come in handy with where she is currently. So Carly grew and grew, and she later attended Northwest Rankin High School, the same high school, in fact, that her mom Ashley taught algebra at, and as a person who also went to the same school that their mom taught at, it can be awkward. It's not great. Carly, though, was on the up and up. She even skipped, look at you, a grade. That's how, shit, a lot going on up here. Maybe too much going on up there. She wasn't really the popular sort, too smart to be, but she had her own little circle of friends. And an excellent taste in Christmas sweaters. And it was her own group, little circle of friends who were really the first to notice that something was a little bit off about our dear Carly. This was like late 2023, early 2024. See, she had just been on the honor roll. She'd even been voted like Student of the Year, but now things seem to be like just going downhill. She'd begun to do some very un-Carly things. For example, she once brought a Swiss Army knife into school. It'd be so much cooler if I actually had a knife, man, when I did that. She brought one of them into school, if you can believe that. That got her sent to like an alternative school for a semester. One time she was caught taking snapperinos of her teacher's answer sheet for, upcoming test. But it was weird because like Carly is like supposed to be a real brain box. Why would she need to cheat on a test? Didn't make any sense. At home, her parents would say, she never seemed violent or angry in the house. In fact, the only emotion that kind of worried her parents, her mom and her stepdad, was she seemed to just be sad. Really sad. They thought she was really depressed. To the point where they would take her to a clinic and she'd be diagnosed some happy pills. Now, of course, so she was like 13, 14 around this time. Kids go through all sorts of phases and mood swings and yada, yada, yada. But it just seemed like, she had been doing so well, and now she was switching track. And because her biological dad, Kevin, he kind of had a not so great history of things, I guess they were even more worried that maybe she might follow, go down the wrong path. It would turn out as well that she was vaping a lot. I know, mouth fedoras, the douche flutes, if you can believe it, but she was like vaping weed. Which, again, that's the thing, like her parents didn't know about this, but they saw Kevin and they wanted to nip all these little habits in the bud, before she developed into something more. And it's really just the fact that none of these things that she was doing are like insane, oh my god. It's more the fact that it's just very not like her.
I agree with Mike on that. It's more the fact that it's not like her, but it's also a fact that it seems like she falling down the same path of her daddy. Like she taking after her daddy in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? The negative traits that her daddy got, she seemed like she got them too. Like the damn apple ain't fell too far from the damn tree. Even though it's also so crazy in this story because this girl is intelligent, y'all. Like this girl smart as hell. She got to be able to skip a grade. That ain't easy to do. I don't even think I went to actual school. I can't remember. It's been so long ago. But I don't think I know anybody when I was growing up who was actually a grade ahead. Or maybe I did know one or two of them. But I'm just saying, y'all, and y'all know too, it's very rare. So she is very intelligent. But she still got these crazy ways about her. And to hear her having a vape pen that was weed at the age of 12 or 13, that's like, whoa, I don't know. Now, me personally, my first time smoking weed was when I was 13 or 14, but I don't know, man. Like, Carly, come back to the right side, man. Like, seriously, what is Carly about to do? I feel like I'm expecting the worst of the worst. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm expecting something terrible.
At times, her parents would take away her iPhone, but Carly had a secret burner phone she would use to text her friends. Some people even said she had things like nipple piercings and tattoos. You gotta be shitting me, she's a loose cannon. It just seemed like she was changing into a completely different person, far more than the usual teenage shite. And before we continue, folks, it is the time of the season. I hear the jingles.
Mike with his commercial, man. But yeah, Carly just going down the wrong freaking road, man. It ain't like just one or two things. It's multiple things. Like her whole personality just turning into somebody else. I don't know. But shout out to Mike and the Raycons. Hold up. I done went too far, being team. My fault. Let's go.
Now, listen up. Let's get back to it.
Back to it.
It was early spring 2024 that Carly would switch her antidepressants. She would say that the first ones were making her feel like a zombie, and then she would go see her new therapist, tell her the new pills suiting you, and she would say, not bother, grant. And that would literally happen a couple of days before this entire story came to a head. On March 19th, 2024, everybody was up and at 'em as per usual. Carly and Ashley getting ready to head into school together. You know, Heath, Smiley, stepdad, he's getting ready to go to physical therapist-ing for the day. So Ashley and Carly, they got in the car, they started driving. Ashley, of course, going to be teaching for the day. Carly, 14 years old, in 10th grade, going to be studenting for the day. Later on during that day, March 19th, that one of Carly's friends approached her mom, Ashley, during, one of the breaks between periods and basically said, we're her friends and we're worried about Carly. She's acting as wrong, she's acting off. Carly's friend would tell Ashley that, she's vaping the devil's lettuce. She's got a burner phone. She's cutting her legs. Basically, if your teenage friends are also worrying about you at this point, they felt, it's not very common that your friends would go to your parents and say, oh, we're worried. They basically...
That's not common at all. If anything, your friends go either be doing the same ish that you doing, but if they not doing the same ish, they at least gonna keep the secret. You know what I'm saying? For them to actually go to her mama and tell her, they are very concerned about Carly. W friends, man. W friends.
They thought Carly, though, was self-medicating for some more serious issues and thought Ashley deserves to know what her daughter was going through. So, Carly and Ashley, then, they finish up the school day at around 3:30. Carly, Ashley, they drive home. And Ashley, during that car ride, of course, would have been giving her daughter, Carly, the old, is there anything you want to tell me, maybe? They arrive home and they head inside the house. Who let the dogs out? Carly did. Opens the door, lets Wyatt and Finn, their two golden retrievers, run outside in the backyard. While Carly is out there, though, with the dogs, Ashley goes into Carly's room and she starts snooping around. And eventually she does find vapes in Carly's room that have weed in them. Supporting, what Carly's friend had told her just a couple of hours earlier that day. That Carly maybe has some worrisome issues. What happened next? Well, it was caught on camera, but, when Carly went into the house, a switch done got flicked. She walks into her bedroom and she sees that her mom has found her little stash and is likely waiting there with a disappointed expression and is armed with the stern talking voice. So Carly walks out, she goes into her mom and stepdad's room and she grabs a gun.
Oh my God.
Now, it was a gun-friendly home. Carly, she had shot before, and Keith, he had firearms, he had, a shotgun, he had AR, he had some other guns, locked away in a safe. But Ashley, she also had a gun. Ashley would keep a gun in a little cubby under her side of the bed. Ashley was apparently scared of her ex-husband, Kevin, so she always wanted to have a gun, nearby, just in case he showed up maybe out of his mind sometime. That gun was a .357 Magnum. Carly knew where it was. She went in and she picked it up and she walked out of her parents' bedroom. And then, after creepily peeking to check if her mom was in the kitchen, she walked back into her own room, where I guess Ashley was still ready to have a chat about the weed vapes she found, though she wouldn't say much. Carly walked in, aimed, and fired 3 shots at her mom with the Magnum. 3 times in the face.
Oh. This just got dark real quick. I don't even know if I really can say how it's kind of premeditated, but it's not premeditated. This just happened out of nowhere just because your mama found your damn vape pens, your weed pens. So you just decide to do that? I don't know, y'all. This one right here is just one of the ones where it was Carly, it just have a conversation with your mama. Step back and think about what you're doing before you do it for a second. It's soon as she realized her mama found them damn pens, oh, I gotta kill you. You know what I'm saying? Damn. Rest in peace, Ashley.
What happened next made it seem less likely that Carly snapped and did something without thinking. Because she definitely thought about what she was going to do next, and it was not immediately call the police.
Wow.
Instead, she walked back into the kitchen, picked up her mom's cell phone, texted Heath asking, "When will you be home, honey?" Heath, responding to Ashley, said, "I'll be a little bit longer." Carly then replied with a thumbs up emoji. She then grabbed her own phone and started texting her friends, about 5 or 6 of them. She was texting them saying she'd effed up and that she needed help stat. She then called 2 friends saying she needed help, but couldn't say why over the phone. One even offered to call 911 for her, but she said nope. It was one friend, only identified in court documents as a BW, who arrived to the home first, the Gregg home first. She arrives to the door, Carly opens it and then asks, "Have you ever seen a dead body before? Wanna?" Then Carly takes her into the bedroom, Carly's own bedroom, where her mom Ashley is laying there on the floor. BW would later say, Carly, not a bother on her. She seemed grand. She wasn't, upset, freaking out. She seemed hey, saying check it out as if it was the new goldfish she got. Then Carly says to her friend BW, "I'm gonna shoot my stepdad next. He'll be home in a few minutes. He'll be home any moment now. Why don't you go wait out back and you'll hear the gunshots?" This friend of BW did just that. Walked outside into the backyard where the 2 dogs were hanging out.
BW, what the hell? I said W friends earlier, but LBW, what the hell? This is fucking crazy, man. This girl, this just show you that she always had mental health issues, and it also show y'all that, how I was praising how intelligent she was and all that. Yes, you can be the smartest mother in the world, but be one of the most dumbest in the world at the same time. And let me be a little more nice about that. Let me try to be a little more nice, even though I'm just upset with Carla right now, because this is terrible what she did to her parents, man. Well, her mama and her stepdaddy. But I'll say it this way. You can be one of the most intelligent in the room, but you also can have mental health issues. You know what I'm saying, man? You can be book smart, but still literally have some mental problems. And it's clear as day that she did.
Then, almost as soon as Heath opened the front door, I'm talking 1 or 2 inches, Carly shot at him. The bullet grazed his shoulder and he was able to actually wrestle with Carly and get the gun off her, while 2 more shots rang out, but thankfully both of those 2 shots didn't hit anybody. He would say 14-year-old Carly was screaming at him in terror as if like he was a demon or something like that. In fact, what he thought was happening was that there had been an intruder in the home. Carly had gotten the gun to defend herself and thought that, he was the intruder. Keith managed to get the Magnum off Carly and she just books it out the back of the house. Running out the door, BW goes with Carly. They jump over a fence and then they just get out of there. They then go their separate ways. In the meantime, he keeps going into the house and he finds his wife dead and calls 911. Officers then arrived.
Sheriff's office! She was in jeans and a grayish t-shirt. She's got short brownish hair.
So, jeans, a gray t-shirt, short brown hair.
She ran into the backyard. I tried to follow her. She jumped the fence and ran.
He's gray, but he's tinted. It went through his shirt. Here.
Ashley's body was found and a bolo was put out for Carly Gregg.
What? That's mom. Yeah. Yeah. No, mom and dad both got it.
Mom and dad both what?
Got hit.
Okay. And
Dad's got it through and through in the shoulder. He's already in the ambulance.
Whirlybirds went up to look for her, but sort of randomly, an officer was driving down the road and he thought he saw her. He pulled up, asked her if she was involved. She said, "Yes, sir. Is my dad okay?"
I got her handcuffed. Actually, look. Let me step out real quick for me. Alright. Hey, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move them around to the front of you, okay? I'm gonna move the handcuffs around to the front of you. Okay. Alright. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to swab your hands, okay? Right. Now, we'll ask you a bunch of questions, but obviously you fired with a pistol, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Alright, look. I need you to hold your hand out like this. I'm going to do your right hand first, okay? That's your right hand. Like that.
What is this?
It's a GSR. It shows which hand did you shoot with?
Okay.
Which hand did you shoot with?
Almost as if she snapped out of whatever kind of trance she had been in.
I know, right? She looked like a regular innocent little girl right there. Like, I kind of feel sad for her. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. And I know that probably ain't well, I do feel like you should feel sad for her more than anything because this girl was mentally freaking ill. But at the same time, man, damn, man, you literally shot your mama in the face 3 times. You know what I'm saying, man? So it just go hand in hand. This one here pulling at my heartstring. I will just say I'm glad that her stepdaddy Heath survived it. But it also just got me sitting right here thinking, y'all. And I'm pretty sure Ashley felt the same way. I hate what happened to Ashley. But I'm pretty sure she felt the same way. How you can raise a child and you will never in a million years think your child will do that to you. You know what I'm saying? You would never, I'm pretty sure Ashley never thought Carly would do that to them. Her or them, because she tried to do it to the stepdaddy too. You know what I'm saying, man? But There's always that once in a million chance that it can happen, even with your own freaking kids. It make you scared, man. Like, seriously, I don't think Ashley ever thought. Now, she probably knew a little something with her. Well, she did know because they were giving her pills, happy pills, going through depression. Like, she knew her child had some stuff going on, but she ain't think it was nowhere near this freaking level. Because if that was the case, they wouldn't even just had guns out in the home anyway. You know what I'm saying, man? It would, oh my God. And like Mike said, it's just crazy looking at her right there now. Like, she done just snapped out of whatever the demon and jumped in and jumped back out of her. Let's go.
Is my stepdad okay?
I don't know, baby. I can't talk to you about
Oh, he's here. I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Carly was charged as an adult and charged with murder and attempted murder.
Everybody on this street, go ahead and lock your doors and stay inside. Someone who is dangerous is on foot.
Deputy said that someone was 14-year-old Carly Madison Gregg.
Funnily enough, I mean, not funny, but a couple of days later, Heath was at home in the house with his mom. I mean, he just lost his wife and his stepdaughter. She just tried to murder him, so you can imagine he's like not in the best form at the time. So he's clearing out the fridge though, because, people were trying to, traumatic thing. They'll bring over, big dishes of food. Any old kind of L shite. So he's clearing out the fridge anyway, and he sees behind some water bottles in his fridge, a camera. The camera that took this footage. It appeared this camera had been hidden inside the fridge, likely by Carly. As in, like, she didn't want anybody to see this footage, so it's like, what? This is the last place anybody will look. No one ever thinks to check the fridge. In the footage, she's even hiding the gun from the camera. He turned over this footage to the police, and also a second camera that they had in the garage. But he would say, he turned the camera over to the police, but they never actually took it, and they never took the footage from the camera that had been in the garage. So Heath decides to do it himself. Takes out the SD card of his camera and starts, looking through the footage. The police then threatened to charge him with evidence tampering, as if he, was deleting footage from the camera. Now, he hadn't. He was just trying to do the police's job, and the police would later say that he hadn't actually, tampered with any of the footage that had been taken. But it was just pretty weird. What? The police threatening him when they don't do their job? But anyways, they later dropped it. Though this would result in another charge for Carly, tampering with evidence, trying to, poorly hide the camera, which kind of captured the entire murder. Carly would be offered a plea deal, 40 years, which she turned down.
All right, Miss Gregg, did you receive that recommendation of 40 years?
Yes, sir.
And it was your choice and your choice alone to reject that recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Things weren't looking good for Carly, and they weren't gonna improve, let me tell you. She was gonna go on trial with an insanity defense, which she did come September 2024, only 6 months after the murder and attempted murder.
Now, see, this is why I draw the line at. You can plead insanity all you want to. All I know is your ass better get a life behind bars. I don't care about y'all know how I feel about that insanity ish. Oh, I was crazy. That's why I did it. Now, yeah, I did say she had mental issues. We can all agree to that. But to me, that do not change the fact that you did that to your mama. It's the old age saying, or the age old saying. You do the crime, you gotta do the freaking time. You should have took them 40 years, that plea deal. I felt like that was BS because she would have got out when she was like 54, 55. I felt like that was BS. I probably would have got out after 20 years. She possibly could have been back out maybe when she was like 34. You know what I'm saying, man? But you ain't want to take that. Because you want to plead insanity. Now, I'm going to be so freaking mad if Mike say that this girl got out scot-free with this ish. Or she went to prison for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And now she back on the streets. That's going to be so effed up, man. I know it's a little girl, but y'all the ones charged her with as an adult. Now, treat her as one. Because I feel like she should be. Give her life in prison. Long story short. Short story long.
Basically, she didn't know what she was doing. She blacked out. Jesus, lads, what did I just do?
We believe the evidence will show that there were 3 victims on March 19th. Ashley Smiley, Heath Smiley, and Carly Gregg. That they were all 3 victims. Carly was not aware on March 19th that she had a mental illness.
The prosecution said nope. she knew full well what she was doing.
You saw what she did. That person has not been restored. That person was never insane to begin with. You know what you didn't hear the defense attorneys talk about? The insanity standard. You know why you don't want to talk about the standard? Because they can't prove it. They can't prove it, ladies and gentlemen. You know what they tried to stand up here and say? The state hasn't told you why. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk during voir dire, what do we talk about? That's not the state's burden. You won't find one place in the jury instructions that it tells you that the state of Mississippi has the burden to show you why Carly Gregg killed her mother, to show you why Carly Gregg attempted to kill Heath Smiley, to show you why Carly Gregg removed that camera that caught her actions and hid it into the refrigerator. That's not our burden. Our burden is to show beyond a reasonable doubt that she did it. And the defense attorneys have admitted that she did it. She has anxiety and depression. Ladies and gentlemen, it is undisputed that anxiety and depression do not cause someone to commit murder.
They found her journal, which goes...
I don't know about that part. Now, a lot of people out here with anxiety, especially depressing, being depressed lead them to commit murder. But I just want to clear something up, y'all, because I know it may be sounding like I'm talking out of both sides of my neck, but I want to just let y'all go even deeper into my brain when I'm talking about the mental health issues and the insanity and should she be in prison or not for life or just a couple of years, yada, 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 yada. Like I said, man, I agree that she should do life in prison. That's how I feel. Well, I ain't gonna say I agree. I should say I agree, like I said earlier, that she has mental health issues. Yes, but I feel like she got the type of mental health issues where she crazy, but she ain't crazy. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, in the moment, she knew what the freak she was doing. Like, this go all the way back to the beginning of the video, so to speak, or so much. When we first started the video, when Mike told us that she had skipped the grade, she was on the honor roll, she had got these awards and stuff. Like, she book smart and all that, but it go to what I was saying, too. I guess I already explained myself, and now I'm trying to explain myself again. Yeah, she was smart as elf, but at the same time, man, she got mental health issues that I don't even think she understands she have. Do that make sense? Like, people who out here who be mentally ill, they don't even really be, I ain't gonna say all of them, but for the I ain't gonna even say for the most part. I'm just gonna say some people. They don't even understand that they are sick in the head. And I feel like that what was going on with her. But that don't excuse what she did, and that don't mean just because she was sick in the head and had mental health issues that she didn't know what the freak she was doing. She knew exactly what the freak she was doing. She was even conspiring to kill her stepdad later on. Like, she was trying to be smart with it, hiding the gun behind her back. This was a dumb move, but putting the camera in the refrigerator, you know what I'm saying, man? But at the same time, all that stuff she was doing just was showing that she mentally ill. I hope I'm explaining it right, man. Let's just finish it up, y'all. We got 5 more minutes to go. And like I said, I hope she get this life in prison.
At one point, there was a page titled, "What Do I Believe?" Carly had written, "There is no God. Heaven and hell are fake. Love is important. Yada yada," but the good stuff was at the bottom. "It's okay to be evil. Sometimes you must jump into the dark to truly see the light. Death is inevitable." I mean, it sounds like kind of typical teenage bullshit to me.
We have the defendant's journals and text messages telling us what happened. She says, "I choose fire. It is powerful, beautiful, and deadly. These are the traits I desire, so I choose fire." Ladies and gentlemen, that lady right there chose fire.
Her therapist would say, that in the previous meetings they'd been having for months and months, Carly had never, expressed anything like, well, what she had done, hallucinations, blackouts, nothing like that. Like, this was not, somebody, like, nothing had been leading to this, she just did it. And she knew right from wrong. She knew what she was doing. She probably killed her mother simply because she wasn't getting her way. Her friends would say she made jokes about murdering her parents all the time. And, so the prosecutor would say she knew what she was doing. She even made an attempt, albeit badly, to, hide the murder, hide the camera in the fridge. It's a good one. She hid the gun from the camera very awkwardly. She texted her stepdad from her mom's phone, pretending to be Her mom says she would be ready and waiting with an iron pointed at his head. She then seemed in grand form when her friend BW showed up saying, "Look at that, look what I just did." And then she made a run for it. The defense would say her medication had just changed, hence why there wasn't much leading up to this, why it was so sudden. That she discussed her worries about her mental health with her doctor, and they argued that teens aren't forthcoming about a lot of things. Perhaps she had more serious issues, in her noodle than she let on. She just knew that if she told her doctor would tell her parents, and her relationship, with Ashley and Heath wasn't great at the time. Prosecution called bullshit.
Verdict of the jury is count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of attempted murder as charged in the indictment. Back row, sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict?
In the end, the jury found Carly Gregg guilty of all charges.
Your sentences will be as follows. As to count 1, the jury having fixed the verdict at life imprisonment, this court will sentence you to life imprisonment. As to count 2, you'll be sentenced to life imprisonment. As to count 3, you'll be sentenced to 10 years to serve.
Carly Gregg, only 15 years of age, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Should she have gotten that, folks? That's my question to you. I mean, what she did was absolutely horrific, but she clearly needs help. Especially for somebody so young. Hopefully she's getting it. Hopefully she is getting it in prison. Now, as well, kind of like a side story to this and another theory about what happened was that there was some speculation that maybe Carly and Heath were like in cahoots, and that Heath coerced Carly into murdering, which, okay, it's dumb, it's not true at all, but that Heath coerced Carly into murdering Ashley. But there was some weird exchanges for sure during the trial between the pair of them. And, before she went on trial, and probably even now, Heath would talk to her every day. So I just think he just really, cared deeply, loved his stepdaughter. Which in any other way would be good. But I guess here when it's, this story just gets very dark. Carly's defense would file for a retrial immediately as soon as she was sentenced, and that would be even sooner it would be denied. And there you have it. That is the case of Carly Gregg. Insane is the only way to put it. Insane. I mean, these cases when it's like killer kids are always insane, but this one is insane truly in all the wrong ways. Is there ever a right way to be insane? Well, not in any way that involves murder. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this whole video, folks. Always means so much to me that you're taking time out of your day to watch all of that chapter videos. So the next video will be up soon enough. We'll be up when it's up, so please give it a go. But until then, please take care of each other. Please take care of yourselves. Because I love you. Mike out.
It is always a delight when we get to go back to Mike being team. Another great video from Mike, y'all. And I just want to start off with this. I ain't gonna lie. I am so happy that she got life in prison. But at the same time, I ain't gonna lie and say that I don't feel kind of bad. Like I said earlier, I feel bad for her. And the only reason I'm really saying that because she only was 14 years old when she did this. You know what I'm saying, man? She was a little child. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta feel bad for the kids. Even though what she did, I gotta stick to this rule too. We gotta stick to this too, being team. You do the crime, you got to do the time, man. It's just like she threw her whole freaking life away. Can you imagine being 15 and to the day you die, which probably would be if she 15, let's just give her let's just do 60 more plus years on this freaking earth. And those whole 60 years, she gonna be behind bars. She didn't get no parole, no nothing. And like I said, man, I'm not even saying she should have got that. But it's just that what eats me up in this case, y'all, is her freaking age, man. But it don't change, like I was saying, and like Mike said too, she knew what she was doing. Just long story short, story long. She knew what the freak she was doing, and she was trying to do even more. She was trying to commit another murder. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't, I don't think it was premeditated like that. But when she decided to do it, She decided to do it. Now, like Mike said that her friend said that she used to joke about killing her. She gonna kill her parents all the time. So it may have been in the back of her mind, but I don't think she had no plan. Like, all right, today when I get home from school, my mama, while she there, I'm gonna go grab the gun out the thing. Then, now I don't think she had a whole plan together, but it always, or not always, but probably had been in her mind for a while. But when that light just, that flip just got switched when her mama went in that room and found her weed pens. That was just like when she was like, it's go time. And boy, did she go. Like, seriously, man. Like, oh my God, man. And y'all know how I was saying earlier, W friends. It's still W friends for what they did as far as like going to the mama, which was a teacher at the school, and telling her, hey man, your daughter, she tripping. Your daughter on some other issue. Your daughter around here smoking weed. She cutting herself. She doing yada, 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 yada. You know what I'm saying, man? Okay, that was still cool for them to do. But sometimes I want to do those friends, even like to this day, just think about, what if I didn't tell Ashley that stuff? Like, do they feel kind of guilty? Like they started all these events, you know what I'm saying, man? Because if they would have never told the mama that, then Ashley and Carly would have just went home and it would just been another day in the neighborhood. But at the same time, you think about it, you like, at some point it was gonna come to a head. At some point, Carly was gonna do some craziness, y'all. So it's just, oh man. It's one of them ones, y'all, seriously, well, I'm like, man, I'm glad she got life in prison, but at the same time, it's just sad what ended up happening, number one, to her mama, but even number two to her, because I feel like she had mental health issues, and at that freaking age, I don't feel like she really, like, understand what life is and how precious it is and all that. But I digress. I'm gonna go and let y'all go now, y'all. I don't know why I got so deep on this mic from that chapter Wednesday, man. It just, I don't know, I had a lot of thoughts on this one being seen. But I appreciate y'all being here as always. And before you leave, just please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and do all that if you ain't did that yet. And remember this. Love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.